Are Barcelona the best team in football right now? Lewandowski put belt to ass against Haaland in the Bundesliga and is now doing the same to Mbappe in La Liga. When he's clearly past his prime. But at what point do we start asking the question we obviously need to ask about this guy? Thoughts?
I mean, look, I have a lot to say about Lewandowski, and the main thing I want to say is he is criminally underrated all the time by you, because you are a Lewandowski hater. You're a self-proclaimed hater, and it makes me sick because the proof is in the pudding, and that pudding is chocolate, my favorite flavor. Anyways, look, I just want to say, you said it. Haaland dominated. Mbappe dominated. So why aren't we giving the man the respect he deserves at what, 36, 37? Like, he's old and he's in charge. I think he's one of the GOAT strikers, man.
Listen, I wouldn't say self-proclaimed hater because I don't hate on him. Maybe his performances for Poland, but can't deny.
He has like 80 goals for Poland.
Okay, someone's got to score. But look at the performances. Yeah, sure, you can score goals, but what do those goals mean?
He plays for Poland, not Germany.
Okay, look at someone like Gareth Bale and what he's done for his country. A country I'd say smaller than Poland, and look what he's done for them.
Okay, but also Lewandowski's a striker, pure 9, target man. Bale's a winger /10 /creator /attacker, so everything's flowing through him. Lewandowski as a 9 is gonna need some kind of service to succeed. Like, I don't expect him to come pick up the ball in midfield and really take over a game, because that's not really his role. And hey, Poland made a quarterfinal in the Euro. That's pretty solid.
Anyways, man like Lewandowski, we cannot put disrespect on his name. You know, I think when you talk about the best strikers of this generation, Lewandowski's up there for sure. Suarez also is up there, but I think a lot of people do think or say that Suarez is better, but can't deny the longevity that Lewandowski has and the CL performances as well too, because Suarez, I think he had like a crazy stat back in the day when he was still at Barca where he only had like 2 GA and like numerous CL appearances, which is crazy. But yeah, can't put disrespect on Lewandowski's name. Balling at his age right now, definitely unlocked a different type of form under former manager Hansi Flick. Sometimes that's all you need, because, Xavi, not, the best gaffer, and sometimes you just need that world-class gaffer to unlock your game, right?
Yeah, you saw it. Like, even last year, a lot of people were thinking, get rid of Lewandowski. Everyone thought Lewandowski was leaving at the end of last season, going to go to Saudi Arabia or something like that. But, man, it truly came down to the gaffer. It really did. Because what else changed? Maybe some players started playing better, but also that comes from the gaffer. But the gaffer knew what he had from Lewandowski at Bayern, and he brought the same attitude and brought the same tactics. Look at Lewandowski now. He's in this form of his life. It's like he just got resurged. And like you can see he's fit and he's hungry to keep on scoring. And he's scoring goals that like easy tap-ins, nice goals, good runs. It's like everything. Every type of goal he's scoring is beautiful. That's what you want from a striker. That's what I want from Barca.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's without a doubt the most underrated striker of this generation. No one puts him in the right conversations that he should be involved in. If he won that Ballon d'Or in 2020 when they canceled it, I think he'd be getting put in a lot different conversations. It's unfortunate that there's going to be that asterisk beside his name for not winning that Ballon d'Or. But dude, if it's me, I'm taking him over Suarez.
Damn.
Me personally, I'm taking him over Suarez. The longevity, he's won it all. Champions League, multiple leagues, right? Obviously, Suarez did in multiple leagues as well. But, dude, I think for me, the longevity is the key thing. The fact that he's been doing it since, early 20s, playing on Klopp's Dortmund, then to Bayern, now to Barca, winning leagues everywhere with multiple different teams, winning Champions Leagues, multiple Champions League finals. Still doing it, right? Suarez, maybe not as much, right, considering where he is right now. So I think for me, that puts him over the top, even over the likes of Benzema as well.
I mean, look, I think if Lewandowski wins that 2020 Ballon d'Or, he's getting put in top 5 striker of all time conversations.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt in my mind. Because, like, the numbers speak for itself. He's 3rd all-time Champions League top goal scorer. That's elite. Is he not a top 5 striker ever?
Listen, I think for some people, he's definitely, sitting at that table, right? For me personally, it's tough to put him in, it's tough to put him at that table because the internationals. I think the internationals, similar to what we're going to see with Haaland, I think when it's all said and done, is the international career will hold him back from being in that top 5 striker conversation, I think, for me personally. Like, do you guys consider Zlatan a top 5 striker of all time?
No.
Nah.
Right? And why is that? Internationals, most likely, right?
Yeah, he hasn't won a Champions League either.
Yeah, I guess he can.
He hasn't won a Champions League. All he's gone.
Either, but
He's gone from league to league. He's scored a lot of goals. He's very well known, but he hasn't won as many trophies.
Yeah.
As Suarez, as Benzema, and then as Lewandowski.
Well, there you go. Right. So I think you know what I mean. Like if he was able to do a little bit more at the international stage, definitely would be sitting at that top 5 striker of all time table, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
he's watching from like just beside.
But
Like, he's at the table right next to it.
But look, based off what you're telling me right now, it sounds like you have 5 strikers in your head that are better.
Put yourself in the
I
spot.
hate when you do this, but I'll give it a go. 5 strikers ahead of him all time. R9, for sure. Are we considering Cristiano Ronaldo a striker or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's second. Well, not in any order here, but I got 2. Johan Cruyff, are we considering him a striker or
Nope.
a second striker? Not
Nope.
a striker. Okay.
Nah.
I'll take Van Basten over him. I'll take this is tough when you got to do it on the spot.
Pele, Eusebio.
If we're considering them strikers, obviously they're there as well. I've named 3 so far.
It's not easy.
Del Piero, striker.
Sure.
If you want him to, but I don't know.
I bet. See, there's a lot of gray area here
Yeah.
between what is and what isn't a striker.
What's a
right?
striker to you?
Someone who bags the goals, man. Someone who bags the goals.
Doesn't he do that for you?
He does. He does really do it for me.
It's not easy. See, you weren't able to just boom.
I wasn't.
Boom.
Give me a little bit. It's because I'm on the spot too. Like, give me a little time. Give me a little, research.
For a striker that does and plays how Lewandowski plays, like position per position, target guy, like I can say top 5. Because there's obviously a different variety of players. There's a guy in that box. There's a guy who can create the play from before he taps that goal in. Just for like a Lewandowski style footballer, I can put him a top 5. But I can't give you that top 5 right now.
Yeah, like if you give me a little bit of time on Safari, I can find you 5.
Well, I'm not giving you time.
You're not.
Yeah.
We're on a time crunch here on this podcast.
I got 3 out, and that's probably all I'll get for right now.
I mean, look.
I'm confident saying that I'll take this guy over Lewandowski.
I mean, look. If you ask me the question, name like 5 left wingers better than Neymar. I can't name one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Not me.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
I know you won't, but there are.
Frankly, I can't.
Yeah, you won't, but there are.
Not that I could think of.
You're in your own world, bud.
Name one.
Hazard.
Henri.
Nah.
Striker, no?
No, Henri striker or left
Yeah,
Henry
winger?
played left wing for Barca.
Yeah, when he was washed.
Yeah, it's Barca.
Nah, come on.
Samuel Eto'o.
Is
Top
what?
5, really?
Oh, a striker? Oh, okay, yeah.
Over Leo.
Going back to the striker talk.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking in my head.
No,
now.
fair.
I've just been here.
Torres.
That's a good shot.
No, not for
Uh-huh.
me. Not for me. I'm sorry.
No, not for me.
Shevchenko.
Nah.
Close, but no cigar for me.
Some good names.
By the end of the podcast, I'll give you 5. I'll be here thinking.
I
shut
can
them
give
out
you 5
as
right
they
now,
go.
bro.
You can give me 5 right now.
5 better than Lewandowski?
Yeah.
Do you consider Pele a striker?
That's the thing. That's what the argument is.
This
'cause
is-
Sure.
He could have said that too.
Yeah, this is my problem right now. Is like I'm here asking, do you consider X, Y, and Z a striker?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
Di Stefano, Puskás,
Bro, Di
Romario,
Stefano's not a
R9.
striker.
Why?
That guy's not a striker, bro.
How about a better question? How about from this generation?
I
This-
told you from
this
this,
first century.
from this generation,
Yeah.
21st?
21st
Yeah.
century,
Yes, he is.
top 5, 100%.
Well,
100%.
obviously.
Yeah.
And would you put him above Suarez?
Me personally, yeah.
Would you put him up Benzema obviously too?
Yeah.
Me personally, yeah.
Above Benzema, above Suarez. Suarez 37. It's definitely the injuries, obviously.
So
but
give me your top 5
longevity.
of this 21st century then. Should be easier.
I guess technically speaking, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah, 1.
That's what I'm saying.
R9.
The century? Nah.
century.
21st.
I mean, what
He like
from,
peaked
like,
into
from
it.
2000
Yeah.
onwards, like he did his thing a little bit
Nah.
here and there. His prime
Kinda
was
late at that
definitely-
point.
His prime was definitely in the 90s.
He won a Ballon d'Or and
His prime was definitely in the 90s.
won a World Cup too.
Ronaldo, second for me in 21st century.
And
That's why I think if
Said
you're
Eto'o.
if you're going top 5, like you're dipping into like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s to pull out players to go ahead of them.
Which
And that's
again
tough for me
is
to
not
do.
fair either for Lewandowski because the game's changed.
Yeah, dude. If he was playing in the 50s, like,
oof.
dude, Poland would have won like 6 World
I don't
Cups.
want to.
I don't know, bro.
I don't want to. I don't want
Would've,
to.
bro.
I don't like that discussion.
Oh, it's true.
Well, you know it's true.
No, okay, yeah. If you put, bruh, like, you could do that for literally any sport. Like,
Oh, I know. That's why.
like, bro, put LeBron in the 50s. Like, they're gonna think he's an alien. Of course,
Yeah.
like athletes have developed.
Fucking on
Like,
everyone, bro.
like, that's just. But
it's a tricky
you,
conversation.
you can't compare generations like that.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
That's
But
why I also don't believe in all times or goats.
no, because the way I look at it is you compare what they did in their generation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have the same impact.
Yeah, that's fair.
Their,
And I
their,
think
own generation type of thing.
looking at it from like generation to generation, I don't think there's many that have done more than Lewandowski in the 21st century.
Fair. Okay, we're talking about old people right
Yeah,
now.
talk about old heads.
The oldest player to ever play for Real Madrid played this past weekend.
Yep.
Oldest ever.
Mhm.
Luka Modric.
And you got an assist too.
You guys think he's washed?
I don't think he's
Nah,
washed.
he's never been washed, bro.
No.
Another one
Maybe
he's underrated.
maybe before the age of like late 20s,
One of the
I'd
most
say
underrated.
washed. But after he turned, what, 26, 28? Yeah.
He perked up. He
Yeah.
definitely perked up after that. But dude, he was a little underrated at Spurs too. Like no one just really talked about him at Spurs. Like he definitely was a little bit of a late bloomer, but dude, he's carried that on like crazy, considering where he's at
Yeah,
now,
seriously.
and he's still playing at a very, very high level. Like realistically speaking, like I think we would all probably have him in like our top 8 mids in the world right now. No,
Right now, no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
top
Right
8.
now?
Right now.
Right now?
Dude, you're lining up to play a game tomorrow. He's in your 11.
Not mine.
Yeah, he is. He is, bro. He is.
Not
you
mine.
got a game tomorrow. Modric is playing.
There's always that argument. I see it a lot of times too. They compare like pick 2 out of these 4. Pick 2 out of these 4. You got Zidane, Modric, Xavi, and Iniesta. Which 2 are you picking to start your team right now? Finals, Champions League finals, whatever it is. 2 midfielders that can create. Like forget the other 9 players around them because sure that Barca team with that Xavi and that Iniesta was just nasty all around, perfect XI. But just pick those 2 guys, put them in your team. Which of the 2 of them are you taking?
You said Salah was in there?
No, Xavi,
Salah,
Iniesta, Modric, Zidane.
Xavi, Iniesta, Modric.
To win like that Champions League final.
Put you in that midfield, and they're like literally gonna like just provide
What am I playing? 4-4-2.
just whatever you want. Just 2 midfielders.
I would say if I need to pick 2 out of those 4 to like win the Champions League final, I'll probably pick Xavi and Zidane.
Xavi and Zidane.
Because Iniesta and Zidane are probably similar, I guess, in play style. Like they're both more creative a little bit. Xavi's gonna dictate your tempo, and Zidane's gonna bring some creativity and goal scoring prowess too. So I like that combo. They complement each other.
I agree.
I also feel like Modric can just also pull some things out of his ass sometimes. Even those shots he has from outside the box.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's had big moments in Champions League, even winning some games late in some fixtures as well. But he's come huge in some finals as well, right?
Yeah, he's got a big goal in him for sure. I think for me personally, like if I'm putting out the 11 tomorrow, obviously age aside, I'm probably putting out
In their prime.
in their prime. I'm putting out Xavi and Modric.
Xavi and Modric.
Damn,
Xavi
no
Modric.
Zidane.
I think Zidane and Iniesta kind of did their thing a little further up the pitch. A little further up is
So
when
you
they
didn't
where
choose
they're
any
at
of
their
them?
best.
So you didn't choose any Zidane or Iniesta.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with those 2 to control the game. That's what I want. I want those 2 controlling the game.
Yeah, I just feel like
Me
Modric
personally.
is really underrated.
100%.
Really,
100%,
really, really
man.
underrated.
Yeah.
And not for anything, but I feel like a lot of Barca fans won't go past their Xavi and Iniesta duo and see like, wow, what kind of a player that Modric was or is because he's a Madrid player.
If he won that World Cup, people would be saying he's the best mid of all time.
Maybe.
But he didn't. So
I'm just saying, if he did,
but he did.
people would be saying he's the best midfielder of all time, which is crazy that, like, one game can really define, like, people's opinions, right? Because, like, if he won the World Cup, it doesn't mean that he even had a good game in that World Cup final, right? Like, he could have had a bad game, they won somehow, and then people would be saying he's the best midfielder of all time. But obviously he didn't, so obviously people don't think he is. But, yeah, definitely very underrated. And the fact that he's playing to the ripe old age of, 38, 39? How old is he now? Like, almost bloody 40? It's insane. But, like, Madrid, like, have they been disappointing so far? What do you guys think? Like, have they been the team that everybody thought they were going to be in terms of Galacticos, having all these stars, all this firepower? Like, do you even think they're the best team in football right now? Me personally, I say no. And I know this is going to come back to bite me when they slap up my team this week in the Champions League. But, like, I don't know, dude. Like, they haven't looked that impressive so far. They haven't had impressive victories, really, right? Like, in the league, they're kind of, just getting by, I would say. Like, they're not dominating the league. Barca's dominating the league.
That was my question. Like, what makes you say that? Like, it's true. In my opinion, you'd expect this team to be destroying everyone.
Yeah, like
3-0, 4-0, bro. And it's not like it's just that they have an amazing front three. Their midfield and also their defense is nasty too. But they've been conceding goals and, like, some stupid ones as well. Like I know they faced, I think, Celta Vigo, had a stupid goal where they left the left wing wide open. The two center backs were pushing in for some reason to the other side and left them wide open. It's like, dude, I expect Madrid to be a lot better. And then you have Ancelotti, who's one of the best gaffers, who's been with this team for so long. It's like, getting Mbappe changed so much. I don't know.
It definitely did.
Bro, I mean, they're only 3 points behind Barca. I don't think there's much outcry that should be being made.
They have been having a good season so far. Like, I'm pretty sure they haven't, like, really lost many games or dropped many points at all. But I'm saying, like, the victories haven't been convincing.
Mm-hmm. They haven't been convincing. And even that game against Lille in the Champions League, losing 1-0 to a penalty by our boy, Joe David.
Canadian.
But they haven't been that convincing. I think that's one of Ancelotti's biggest challenges right now, where he doesn't have his midfielders in Cruz and maybe Modric kind of dictating the tempo, creating the plays. It's really relying on literally a Jude Bellingham that's not been playing in his right position, because we know that his position is, I feel, that more of attacking position where he can provide and score those goals like he did last season. And then we have Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, who aren't really that much of creators. Like, they're definitely big players in the middle of the pitch, but they're not putting that ball between spaces into Mbappe or Vini. And then it comes down to, when you're in the last third or in the last quarter of the pitch, Vini and Mbappe, it kind of feels like they just want to, score their own goals and kind of, create for themselves. Where I feel like Ancelotti's kind of finding himself a little bit more challenging to, create that style or that kind of like pinpoint what's going on with his team. Because I know we mentioned before, like, Ancelotti doesn't really worry too much about the defensive side. The defense can do its thing. It really comes out to, or is it the other way around?
No, I think defensively he wants them to be solid. Then attacking, he says, just go do your thing.
Okay, that's what I meant then, yeah.
Just go do your thing.
Where at this point, I feel like you can't do that with these players.
Yeah,
these players need to be like, hey, you're doing this. You're attacking this way. You're coming from the wing. Just a little bit more structure. Because there's times where Jude's playing on the right side, right? Because you have to put him on. You cannot play him. He has to be a little more attacking. Then I think they brought Rodrigo in for him afterwards. But there needs to be a little bit more direction for his attacking footballers on the pitch.
Bro, I think how Carlos handled Jude this season has been an absolute disgrace. Because Jude was one of, if not the best player for Madrid last season, playing in a more of an attacking role. And yet this season, he's in the mid now.
Did you not expect that to happen, though? I said this.
I tried to tell you guys.
I've said this. Me and Jay's been saying this last season.
No, obviously.
That this season is going to be completely different Jude. It's not. You're not going to see the same guy.
But why? Why is Carlo doing this?
Because he wasn't bought for that. It was It was unexpectedly that he was thrived in that position. But they knew next season we're going to have Mbappe. Or you rather have Mbappe score 20 goals or Jude score 20 goals?
Whoever wins the games.
No, it's at the end of the day, you bought Mbappe for a reason. You want Mbappe to score those. You imagine Jude scores 20 goals and Mbappe scores not even half of that. How bad that would look for Madrid.
To me, obviously, there's always that saying, and don't fix what's not broken. If I'm getting it right.
Yeah.
The only thing that was missing in this new season coming in was a midfielder. a creative midfielder because Cruz is out. Modric is definitely seeing a lot more minutes in the bench. The attacking 3 attackers were perfect. Rodrigo, Vinny, and Jude going forward. I feel like they want to bring Jude back into the middle to kind of create a little bit more, but he's just the same player as Cruz or as Modric is when he has a ball on his feet. Definitely not. So I feel like they needed to look for, and obviously Madrid is Madrid. They're going to look for the hottest player on the market.
Yeah.
Mbappe's going to come. He's going to be coming for free. You might as well take him. You're not going to say no to him. But I think their priorities was definitely looking to another midfielder that can definitely create for them. Maybe a Wirtz, maybe I don't know. Throw some names out there. Musiala, whoever it is, right?
Yeah, whoever it is, like they don't got him right now, and like you can see that with how they're playing. I think the midfields they have right now lack a little bit of creativity, right? Like I think Vinny and Mbappe are both most comfortable, kind of playing a little bit shifted to the left. You know, they definitely swing left a little bit, and then you don't really have anything on the right side of the field.
Yeah,
if you think of it, right? Especially when Rodrigo's not playing,
Mm-hmm.
and even Rodrigo, I think, is probably more comfortable on the left. Realistically speaking, I think we've said that before in the past. So now it's like you're almost having Jude Bellingham going and playing as like a false right winger, when even he I think is more comfortable on the left too, based on what we saw from him last season. I thought that's kind of where you see him kind of taking a lot of players on.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how they just have this like overload of players who are most comfortable playing on the left and kind of cutting it on their right, and there's like this big gaping hole on the right side of the field, and there's not a lot of creativity there. And I think maybe that's why there's been that lack of dominance, right? Whereas let's say, for example, if you look at Barca this season, dude, I think that front line is perfectly balanced,
Definitely,
right? If you're looking at Rafinha, if you're looking at Yamal, if you're looking at Lewandowski, they're all playing in the position where they're most comfortable and they can have the biggest impact on the game. And that's why they're going out there and like they're not just squeaking by, they're like dominating teams, right?
If you're Madrid now and you got to see like, hey, we need a gaffer who can go out there and be like, you know what, you're playing this tomorrow, because clearly Ancelotti is going to be like, you know, let these guys just ball, let do their thing. They're good enough to do it. They're good enough to win games. You know that, right? But it's just, are they good enough to come down to where it is you need them to score that goal to win that game for you? Is Mbappe going to step up and win that final Champions League matchup, whatever it is, right? Is Vinny going to step up because he's ghosted sometimes? He goes for the national team. It just is there going to be, is Ancelotti going to actually go on the pitch and be like, this is how we're playing. I need you on the side. I need you here. I need you there. I need you there. This is what we're going to do. Because I feel like these players, not that they have big egos or anything, but I feel like they just go on the pitch and do what they want. Right?
I don't know. I knew once that Mbappe was going to come in, it was going to be an issue. And this guy said Haaland was going to go too. Remember that? Remember this guy said Haaland?
Hey, it's still a possibility, bro.
You guys are crazy.
Don't Barca want Haaland now?
Hey, man. They
Everyone
need a
wants
statement signing for when that new camp opens up,
They've
right?
got the facilities for
Everyone
it
needs
right now,
Haaland.
though.
Everyone needs
Man.
Haaland.
Pull the lever.
I mean, they sold those Coldplay jerseys for like 400 euros.
You see that? You see that one Asian guy who took like 20
Yeah,
jerseys?
bro.
20 home with him.
Those aren't cheap, bro.
This guy literally just was paid to go fund the Barca new training sessions.
Shout out to him, bro.
He's funding the house.
400 euros for a jersey that just says Coldplay and moons.
Hey,
What's so different from the other
that
one?
said Taylor Swift, it'd be 1,000.
Facts.
It is honestly like probably like
it is cool.
it's probably the best marketing move from a football team I've seen since like PSG Jordan. PSG Jordan I thought was pretty brilliant. Like they create like a whole brand, a whole culture out of it.
Definitely.
But I think this Spotify move by Barcelona I think is so underrated because you can literally throw
I
like
swear y'all were talking ass about that. Y'all were
first
talking
of all,
shit. I
talking
swear.
ass is crazy, but
I swear y'all talking shit before that.
nah, bro, I don't think anyone was talking shit. But
Yes, Spotify. What? Yes, Spotify Camp Nou.
personally, that wasn't me. I think the guy who probably said that's not here today. But dude, if you think about it, they can literally throw like any artist logo on the kit, and you're gonna have like a different demographic of people buying that jersey because they're repping
Their
their
culture,
their
their
favorite
music,
like artist,
their-
right? Or their favorite like
brand.
album or whatever the case is. Dude, that's bloody genius. And
Taylor
you know
Swift-
what?
Taylor Swift's gonna drop soon.
Can
Taylor
you?
Swift's gonna drop, dude. There's gonna be an OVO one that's gonna come out, dude. There's gonna be probably some crazy
There
ones.
was
that's
an
gonna come
OVO
out.
one.
And that's gonna fund Erling Haaland to Barcelona.
Bro, a BTS x Taylor Swift on the kit, that's definitely going to fund Haaland.
Yo, I'll cop one still.
That's Haaland. That's literally Haaland's transfer
I'm a Swiftie.
fee paid for, and then he's lining up in that lineup to replace Lewandowski.
BTS one will feed families for sure.
Facts.
For sure.
Dude, crazy.
That'll
man.
make serious
I love
coin.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
But look, you're mentioning Real Madrid. You're mentioning Barca. Two big institutions of football clubs. that have housed many great players. Another great player who I was a big fan of growing up, El Matador. Edinson Cavani said recently that, am I a football genius? No. The football geniuses are Messi, Neymar, Maradona, and Ronaldinho. That's it. I was just a hard worker who consistently refined myself. With that said, is Cristiano Ronaldo not a football genius?
No, I just think a lot of these footballers are just riding some kind of meat wagon these days.
What?
Dude, not for anything. Like, even for a footballer to come up and be like, I'm not a genius. Like, don't disrespect yourself like that, bro.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Keeping it
He's
a
not
1,000,
wrong.
bro.
He's
But,
not
like-
wrong. He's just being honest.
But why do you have
though,
to go out there and just say nonsense sometimes?
what's up?
Just to be relevant.
Did someone ask him, or he just like popped off?
you
and
gotta
was
ask
like,
that.
No, yeah,
interview.
he wasn't in an
Business
interview.
interview.
Okay, so someone asked him, I guess. If someone asks, you gotta answer.
There's definitely some kind of like just Messi cult out there. Just needs to have just fresh content for Messi every single day.
But this is Cavani, no?
Yeah, but it's content for Messi.
Nah, come
I don't
on.
think Cavani's making content for Messi, bro. I don't
Whoever
think
asked him the
Cavani-
question, man, it's probably ESPN.
I guess, but like realistically speaking, like we would have been like, if Cavani did this interview and he's like, I'm a footballing genius, I think everyone would have been like, why are you lying? You know what I mean? Because like, don't get me wrong, Cavani, brilliant player, but I don't think you would consider him a footballing genius, realistically
Nah.
speaking,
No,
right?
okay,
He's
I
more of
get
a
it.
dog, he's more of a
I get it.
workhorse, right? And I think like
What-
it
but
goes
what-
back to that conversation. If you compare Messi and Ronaldo, one of them is naturally gifted and brilliant, like a genius. The other one is like the most hardworking and dedicated athlete potentially of all time. And he got himself to be in that conversation of being one of the best players of all time. So
Well,
he's more of a hard worker.
Who's to say Ronaldo isn't a genius?
He's not
Describe what's a footballer genius to you?
someone who's naturally gifted.
Like, I'm a genius because of my feet, or I'm a genius because of what I have up here.
Well, everything combined.
Everything combined.
Everything.
You're na-
I
you're-
think
you're
there's
na-
many
you're-
more players who
you're-
are much more of a genius than Messi, Neymar, or whoever.
Who?
was mentioned.
Name,
Wait,
name a
bro.
couple more.
You mentioned Zidane, Modric, Iniesta.
Well, he
Xavi.
named them too, though. He named those guys too. Well, I think
Ronaldo's a genius too. I think, and not because of what maybe he doesn't have the God-given talent, but in order to be in the position he is in the right time, in order to see a ball coming through and make that leap into the air and know I'm going to get this ball, you have to kind of have some kind of knowledge of what to do in a position.
Of course. I mean, Cavani definitely has the knowledge too.
He has to have he has to have the
but
genius.
he
of
knows
being able
the
to
difference.
Okay, but for someone to score over 1,000 goals in their career, you have to be a genius.
But he also comes down because he's a workhorse and he's a machine.
But that's
That's like,
goes hand in
but
hand
that's
the-
with me. I don't think Haaland is a genius. He just knows what to do.
because
Nah,
you just said
nah,
it. You just
nah.
said he knows what to do.
He knows his.
That's
you know,
being
you know
a
what I
genius
mean.
is.
Okay, why do you think Ronaldo is not a football genius?
me personally.
Yeah.
Did you say he wasn't?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm looking at it from like a different perspective. I think like realistically speaking, like there's a difference between being a football genius and being an extremely talented footballer, right? I think being an extremely talented footballer combined with a good work ethic, good physical attributes gets you Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Where a footballing genius is someone who isn't gifted athletically, isn't gifted physically, but is still considered to be one of the top players of all time, right? So
But and in order to be a genius, you kind of have to handle those the attributes. Just saying that because he's not physically, what do you say,
yeah, he's not physically gifted.
gifted, it
He's
can
not.
still be a genius. You're saying
He is a genius because he's not physically gifted.
all the players that thing mentioned are physically gifted.
Who?
Maybe Messi might not be physically gifted as like the size, but he's gifted and able to move the way he moves and not getting injured. Neymar moves the way he moves, but he deals with injuries much more. But that's physically gifted as a baller to be able to move that way. Physically.
What?
No, but you're saying you
I know
can't
you're
be
talking-
physically gifted and be a genius.
I'm lost.
I'm not saying you can't be both, but I'm saying these players are considered footballing geniuses because they're not physically gifted. Like they're not the biggest, the strongest,
But
the
physically
fastest.
gifted, those guys are physically gifted.
Who?
Oh, Neymar's not physically gifted. Messi's not.
What's physically to you? Just
Like
because they're not big
physical
and strong?
strength? Yeah, height.
But
You're the
physically,
perfect
like, they're-
athlete.
Physically, the
Ronaldo's
way
a
they
perfect
move.
athlete.
You think agility's not physical?
They're not
Movement?
They're not gifted athletes.
All those players that are footballers. If you're not a gifted athlete, then you shouldn't be playing football.
Okay, what do we
If you're
say?
playing- If you're playing professional sport, you're a gifted athlete.
Of course, bro.
No,
Physically, you
not
are.
True. That's not true.
Why isn't he playing in the top level? He's the same size as Messi. He's the same size as Messi.
Because he's not a footballing genius.
But he's not physically capable of doing it. He can't do step overs the way
could.
Neymar does.
He could.
No, he cannot.
No, he cannot. Stop,
I'm telling
bro.
you, he cannot.
Stop,
I'm telling
bro.
you, he cannot.
Stop.
But bro,
But am I wrong or am I? What is it?
yeah, a little bit.
You have some
But
physical. You have to have some physical.
You have to have
qualities.
you have to have some, but it's the football. You're not making it to a top level because like Messi didn't make it to the top level because of his body or his ability to be agile.
Yes, majority of it. Yes.
No,
He may have the vision, but if he doesn't move the way he moves, he wouldn't make it this far either.
He would.
No.
He would.
No. In my head, I'm like, I'm gonna make this sick pass. But if I physically can't give the sick pass, I'm not gonna be gifted. I'm not gonna be good.
Because he's not a footballing genius. Dude, there's like 100 players, probably more than 100. There's probably thousands of players that are built like Messi. They're agile, they're quick, they're nifty, they're
You
left-footed.
can't say they're like pound for pound. There's no player like built like Messi.
That's why he's a
Because he's
genius.
a footballing genius.
Bro,
Physically,
to put it like this,
Physically, he's not
football geniuses are the number 10s. To put it that simply.
ish.
So why is Ronaldo a football genius?
no, but there's players that could say Ben Arfa, Tadat, back in their day,
They're
street
skilled.
ballers.
They're skilled.
But that's physical. That's part of your physique.
I'm not saying they're geniuses though.
But they're not. That's why they're not at the top level.
Exactly.
They come to the highest of levels of football striker.
So then what's the
Football
difference?
genius.
So then what's the difference from those guys
You need to
from
you have to have both,
have both what?
physically and mentally.
So then what does that make Messi?
Messi.
He has both,
A genius.
and he's physically. That's why he's one of the best players in the world.
So then you think Ronaldo has both too?
Yes, I do. You guys can argue. I'll have my
No, it's
argument.
not. I like
You guys
having
can
that.
have
I
your
like
argument.
everyone has different opinions. That's why
No,
I like
for
it.
sure.
Matthew's I didn't hear.
But you can't just say
Yeah.
because he just has the knowledge. He can
Bruh.
just push it out of his ass.
It's not just us, bro. It's majority of people know that Ronaldo is not as physically gifted as Messi.
No. You said that completely wrong.
Sorry. Yeah. Messi
Say
is
it
a
again.
genius.
You just said Messi's not physically as gifted as Ronaldo. Say it again.
Ronaldo.
Sorry, I meant the other way around.
Thank you.
Yes. But everyone knows that Messi has that thing that Ronaldo doesn't have.
And there's also things that Ronaldo had that Messi doesn't have either.
Hey, Mati, what's your thoughts?
Bro, like I said, the football geniuses are the number 10s of the games. The players who create absolute magic with the football, who could do anything with the football. You know, some say they may not be the best physically, the most genetically gifted, but what they do with the football is what makes them gifted. It's what makes them a magician. And which is why strikers, they don't get remembered. The geniuses, the number 10s, they get remembered.
Man, that's such a Chat GPT answer.
Yeah, you read that right off chat.
Did you read that?
Nah, bro. Looking at the Cavani quotes.
Okay,
still.
anyways, I do disagree with that in the sense because R9's a football genius in my opinion. He's a
Okay.
striker.
Sure.
That's someone I think Cavani left off his list.
Engie left a lot of people off the list.
Well, for the
This was
most
like
part,
five guys.
the number 10s are the geniuses
Yeah,
of football.
Yeah, because the number 10s, they can create out of nothing. They dictate the game and can also score.
Which is why they play that position.
Yeah, okay, so is Hazard a football
But
genius?
one thing, wasn't the number 10 vacant for the last 10 years?
But now it's back.
5 years? No, some yes, some
Some
no.
some
That's-
could say there's more
But
tens
not
now
to
on
say
the
that
field.
it's the most important position on the pitch.
That's more so the position than the play style.
But if you're saying that these players that have this God-given talent and are the geniuses of the game, shouldn't every team be playing with this genius of footballer on the pitch?
Well, because they're such geniuses, they're harder to come by.
No, but there's teams and there's many teams who don't play with them and have won trophies without them over the years.
Yeah, sure.
But so what's to say that you need them?
Well, the
I think
geniuses
that's
are
what I was
more
arguing
memorable.
The last episode where it's what's the most important position on the pitch. You guys didn't say number 10s.
We're talking about
We didn't say
least
most important. We said least important.
And then we'll say the most important in this episode.
What is the most important position on the pitch?
We've had this conversation before.
We have,
I think.
haven't we?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think realistically speaking, like every dominant team of the last decade has had a footballing genius in it. Obviously,
Even of saying a player like Van Dijk, he's a footballing genius. The way he defends, or numerous defenders in the world. I feel like that's probably one of the most important positions as well on the pitch.
But thing is, like, his teammates, the people that he's played football with, wouldn't consider him a genius
Yeah, but a lot
in
of people
comparison
also
to
rely on
players in other
defenders
positions.
to step up in the biggest matches in football. for you.
There's a difference between being talented and an important player for your team and being like a footballing genius. You can be an intelligent footballer, but not a footballing genius.
I'm sorry. When if someone asks me this question, Van Dijk's not the first person that comes to mind. He's not
No,
the
of
10th
course
person that
not.
comes. He's not the 20th
But
person. He's not the
maybe-
50th
maybe-
person that comes to my mind.
Maybe I'm looking at it in a different way.
Well, you definitely are.
Just
You're looking at it a way that he's good.
someone who
He's
can
good
play
at his
the
position. Yes,
right?
but a lot of people do that.
A lot of players can play.
We're
a
talking
center back
about
role.
we're talking about those guys
who
that are.
can play it the best.
We're talking about those guys that are out of this world.
No.
Yes,
Okay,
we are. That's what a
answer this
genius
question.
is.
Answer this question. I'm talking about a player who can play the complete best. I don't care about their size half the time. Because yes, Van Dijk can be a big center back, and can have both physically and mentally as a defender. That's why he's one of the greatest, because he is the mentality, is the genius part of the football sport, and he has the physical part of it. Puyol, he might not be the biggest, but he had the mentality, which also surpassed him over the top of many other center backs. Center backs can be the tallest ever, and there can be complete garbage. You have to have a bit of both, and if one is less, then the other one has to be far greater in a way.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're asked to describe like some of these players in one or two words, you wouldn't necessarily equate defenders with genius.
100% not.
But yeah, because maybe you guys you guys are probably interpreting it in your own way.
But even if you ask professional players, do you think the first two, maybe even three words that will come out of their mouth regarding defenders genius? I don't think so.
But if they were to see it, because again, people are telling you these players are the smartest, these players are the smartest, but anyone can give their own right answer. If you guys just say the number 10 is the most smartest position on the pitch, but I'm telling you, there's been teams who've won tournaments, trophies without these number 10s on the pitch. How can you expect them to be the most important positions in the pitch if teams have gone out there and played without them? There have been number 10s in the world who have been the best, and next season they literally have been dropped to playing in the Greek league, to play in some of the lower leagues in soccer. And then you're telling me that they're geniuses? Sergio, what's his name? The Colombian.
James Rodriguez.
James
I wouldn't
He's
say he's
also
a
in his
football
30s.
genius.
At his time, he was one of the best. World Cup.
I wouldn't say
Was he not one of the
best.
best in the World Cup?
More
Yeah,
so
but-
like World Cup tax.
Okay, after that World Cup, if you ask someone who was a world footballer and genius, a lot of people would have said James in the time.
No.
He was a
Nah,
nice,
bro.
he was a nasty 10, but he wasn't a genius.
would make-
The genius
But
is only
my
applied,
argu-
in my opinion,
but
to
my-
like a very small amount of people.
But my argument is
Just
still
like Cavani
this.
says.
My argument is still, you can't tell me the best, the most smartest players on the pitch, or the footballing geniuses are number 10s if teams are literally playing without them.
But the majority of the list wasn't number 10s that he gave.
No, Dino wasn't a 10. Neymar wasn't a 10.
Half the time, though, these footballers just name their list because they just want to name stars.
But
Come on.
but Cavani had beef with Neymar and he still named him. Didn't he play with
The
Ronaldo?
guy is literally, he played his first game after how many months now?
Modric, I would think, was on the list too.
Yeah, Cavani
No.
legit played with
He was
Ronaldo.
on my list.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he
Cavani
mention him?
legit played with
Well,
Ronaldo.
doesn't mean they didn't
He
get-
saw him on
maybe
and
they-
off the
maybe they
pitch.
didn't get along, right?
He didn't get along with Neymar. Still mention him.
Hey,
Yeah.
exactly.
But no, I think like when you're thinking of a footballing genius, you're thinking of that more creative person rather than that player who is more efficient, so to say. Like
I'll answer my.
I think
I'll answer my point with just one simple sentence. To me, a footballing genius is a person who can output the same amount of work as you with the least amount of work, even in a way. Like if we're both playing the same position, if we're both physically built the same way, but he's the one that's exhausted at the end of the match, and I stop the same amount of tackles and same amount of defend the balls as him, then I'm using my head more than what I physically have to go out and do.
yeah, but it doesn't mean you're a footballing genius.
Yeah.
So does being
genius
So
is
is
a sport. I know
Giroud
how
a
to play-
genius?
Wait,
I know how to play
Is
my sport
Giroud
in
a
that
genius because he has
position.
the most goals for France?
wait. So does being the best right back in the world mean you're a footballing genius?
And if you can play your position at the best in the way that you can, you are considered
You're a
a
genius.
footballing
No,
genius.
I disagree.
In your position.
No.
But I'm not to say footballing geniuses are only cams, or only creative attacking midfielders. Footballing genius can be placed anywhere on the pitch.
Is Carvajal a genius?
In a way, yes, because he no, in a way, would you pick? No, in a way, because I'm not saying he is. I'm saying
He's
in a
a
way,
great player. He's
in
not
a
a
way, he's a
genius.
great player. He's been able to play at the top level forever. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. And look what he's done.
That's
as a
Cavani.
career.
That means he played his role.
Cavani.
That doesn't make him a
In my
footballing
opinion,
genius.
in my opinion, to simplify the way I see a genius, is someone that can pull shit out of their ass, and you like are stunned. A player like
anyone can pull something out of their ass
no,
in
a player like
moment.
Oh, come
It's
on.
just in the right moment at the right time.
No. I don't see Van Dijk pulling something out of his ass. He's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's great at it. He's 100% great at it. But he's not pulling shit out of his ass.
You guys have seen defenders where they made absolutely ridiculous tackles, and you just go and also are stunned by it.
We know.
You guys have seen some great tackles in no time.
Yes,
and you're like, wow.
But yes.
They pulled those out of their ass.
Van Dijk had aura, but he's not a genius, bro.
No, it's not about the aura.
He's
it's
not
about
a genius, man. Come on. I don't know who you're trying to who you're trying to
John Terry
for, bro.
lifting his head up to stop that one shot on net.
He's doing his part. He's doing his thing. That's making him a genius.
Some guys wouldn't do that. You're pulling stuff out of your ass.
No, come on.
No, I get the argument, but I wouldn't like quantify it as like a footballing genius. I see where you're coming from though. Like it makes sense, but like I wouldn't say that's genius.
But that's everyone's
They're
opinion.
the best of the
Being
best
like
in their
a-
roles for sure.
No, I think there's a difference between like an intelligent footballer, someone with good football IQ, and someone who's a footballing genius. Like obviously, if you're a footballing genius, you have a very high football IQ, but you're operating at a totally different level.
You can say that for anyone. Any position you can say that.
Anyone?
Any position.
You can't say that.
Maybe not goalies, but any position you can say that.
No,
That's
I don't
crazy.
think there's like a
You can-
footballing
there's
genius
players-
that's like a center back.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I could never like consider a defender a football genius.
Dude, there's a
Maldini said it himself. If my goalie has to make a save, then I've done my job wrong.
yeah, but he's doing his job. He's doing his role. But doesn't make him a
But
genius.
what's to say every center back can't do that?
I'm sure
Every center back can't stop a shot. Why?
he's
why?
better at his role than most players. Yes,
And same
but he's
for-
not a
same for the
genius.
geniuses, they're better at their role than other players.
Oh,
Yes. Next.
man, that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Like you said, every point comment you guys are making about they can pull things out of their ass. They can do this. They can do this. You can say the same for any other position. That's all I'm saying.
We're not picking up a single position.
No, I do like the way Matthew put it actually. If you're asking these top footballers, describe your teammates in one word, like we've done many times. No one's saying
But the
genius
thing is-
for the
the thing is-
defenders.
You already know in the football game, we're already considering as cams or as attacking midfielders as the geniuses on the pitch. Because yes, they're the creative ones. They're the ones making those creative passes. But who's to say that there's other people doing other genius or creative things in their respective positions either?
So why mention it if it's
Wingers
known?
are very creative and genius players. They pull some skill moves out of their butt. We're not seeing it nowadays. But when it happens, we all get stunned. Oh my God. Right?
I don't know.
And I'm sure we had some moments where some players have said center back intelligent
Yeah, you
genius.
see them doing like
We've
a
shared those
crazy
before.
tackle, or like even like I'd say for example, like I don't know, like when Kyle Walker called John Stones Beckenbauer, right? Like I think he's saying
That's just nuts.
no, I get it. Like
I don't
he's-
get it.
He has,
I don't get it.
He has a skill set that
The guy doesn't play for Man City and he's be calling
I know,
Beckenbauer.
I
Like
know,
it's
but
the
I'm
stupidest
saying-
thing I've ever heard in my life.
But I'm saying he has a skill set that not many other players in his position have.
I haven't
but that
seen it.
doesn't
I
make him a
haven't seen his
genius.
skill
Yeah,
sets.
I'm not saying that makes him a genius, but I'm saying like there are players that have a skill set that not many other players in their position have, but that doesn't make you like a footballing like genius.
You know what Stones reminds me of that Mandela effect. Like people say he's so good, but I haven't seen it. I swear I haven't seen it.
Nah,
Bro, I see a Kanji
I've seen it,
and
bro.
Diaz play. I haven't seen Stone play in like months,
Yeah,
bro.
okay, maybe not anymore, but like he.
No,
played,
but
like,
people
in the
are
past,
saying
bro.
it still. Like he's the best
Yeah.
center back in the world right now.
I
He
don't
hasn't
know,
played
bro.
a single game.
I don't know about all that.
I don't understand.
It's been a while since I've heard people putting him in like best center back in the
No,
world like
bro.
conversation.
We interviewed Kyle Walker a couple months ago. He's still saying it.
Nah.
Say any other English player, any other English international player that played with him, they'll say him. He's nasty.
Maybe, yeah. But
We'll
maybe,
ask it tomorrow.
yeah, maybe it's because they're seeing him like in training, right? Pulling stuff out that the other guys aren't
What are you
pulling
doing in
out.
training? Why are you not
that
playing?
stuff too. Like,
But
I'm
also,
sure-
dude,
I
like
don't
look who like realistically, if you're like England international, right? You've been going to training now for the last 3-4 years, right? You haven't like other than John Stones, you haven't necessarily had like the cream of the crop in terms of center halves.
I
You've just been
understand.
having these brutes.
You're telling me Harry
Okay,
Maguire's
okay.
not a genius?
I understand. Okay, he might be the best English, but this guy's comparing him to Beckenbauer.
Yeah,
Bro, people are saying he's one of the best center backs ever in his
Who's to
generation.
say Beckenbauer can pull strings today in football?
Oh,
no, we're back.
Beckenbauer.
We're back to the conversation.
all right.
No, but that was good. That was a good debate. It was fiery.
No, I'll end it off. I don't think Ronaldo is a genius. You guys in the comments,
He is
anyone watching
definitely
this,
a genius.
you guys agree or not? Is Ronaldo a genius?
You can't tell me.
Is he?
A guy who scores over 1,000 goals in a career is not a genius.
He's a machine. Doesn't mean he's a genius.
Everyone's a fucking machine nowadays, man.
Not Messi. He's a genius.
Okay, let's go to this one argument or one question we've seen on the socials this week. The top 10 leagues mentioned by Opta, they have the MLS ranked 9th above the EFL, the championship, right? Where we see some of these teams going to the Premier League, which is considered the best in the world, right? So how can you tell me a league that has Premier League talent to be considered a league below the MLS? And not to talk smack about the MLS, because that's obviously our respective league here in North America. You know, a lot of talent coming out of the MLS. But is it also just because they're just feeding off of this messy banter fandom? What's going on nowadays?
Yeah, I think it's
just to say Messi's still playing in the top 10 league.
Yeah, it's like a bit of both. I think MLS has probably a lot of marketing and a lot of eyes on it because people are trying to really grow the sport in North America for obvious reasons like World Cup and whatnot. But I mean like at like a level like I don't necessarily think it's like a million miles away from like the championship, right? Like you're seeing a lot of players kind of yo-yo back and forth from championship to MLS go to the championship, MLS going to like the Prem, right? Going to different leagues as well. So like, I don't think it's like that outlandish like to have like MLS like 9th, 10th, 11th like best league in the world. Like I don't think it's that far off.
I don't know, man. You're seeing 3 teams that were last year in the Prem go to the championship, and then those three other teams go next year to the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
For the Premier League is the best league in the world.
Yeah,
for these
really
3 teams,
anything,
not really doing anything. They're still in the best league.
Like, are they like successful in the league? Like,
if they're directly going into the best league in the world,
yeah, but
that's MLS is in 9th place.
But that's not like that's like just
How's
geography. Like that's like
that's not geography either.
It is.
No, but it's not. It's not only just geography. There's talent there for completely. There's a reason. There's talent there.
No, there's talent. Yes, but like at the end of the day, like
talking about teams like Leicester and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but realistically speaking,
teams like Brentford that are actually staying in the Premier League.
Okay, so what if the MLS was also a feeder league into the Prem? Then you can make that same argument.
There has to. There's no one good in the league.
Bro, didn't John Duran come from Chicago?
Okay, that's one player.
This guy was playing in O Block, and now he's in the Prem.
That's one player.
Block.
Name me one player.
So?
Name me 10 players that are succeeding right now in the Premier League.
Okay. Name 10 from the championship.
I can't, but I know definitely they are. I know I can actually.
Go.
Leicester City, whole team. There you go.
They're in the Prem right now.
Exactly.
No, the
They're in
championship
Premier
right now.
They were in Champions League last year.
No, right now.
My whole point is that there's teams that are in the Champions League that could go to the Prem.
Yeah, but
just like Leicester.
The rankings right now, though.
That's just like the football.
And whatever team dropped, I'll name their whole lineup.
Like it just has to happen that way. Like let's say for example, if you took like if the whole structure was different and it wasn't 3 championship teams that went up. Let's say it was for whatever reason 1 Dutch team, 1 MLS team, and 1 championship team that got promoted from the MLS, the Eredivisie, and the championship each year into the Premier League. You wouldn't notice a difference in quality between those 3 teams.
Tell me Leeds can't go out there and beat the best MLS team right now.
I doubt it.
Are they beating Inter
I
Miami?
don't think so.
Bro, have you
don't
seen
think
Inter
Leeds can beat
Miami?
Inter Miami?
No.
What are you talking about?
I
You
don't
think
they
so?
would, bro.
Oh my
I don't think
gosh,
they would.
man.
You don't think Leeds can beat?
You're wearing an Inter Miami kit.
I don't think they would.
No, bro.
Have you seen their goalie?
Ooh,
Have you seen Leeds?
Inter Miami's goalie, bro.
dude, I don't.
Have you seen the other guys further up the pitch?
Yeah, they wouldn't, bro. They wouldn't beat Miami. Like, let's be honest. Like they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
They wouldn't.
I think
bro.
Leeds would
Like,
be
based
Miami.
on what though?
We'll see what happens in the Club World Cup.
Exactly. You're gonna see Messi and Miami get destroyed every single game. Watch.
Well, obviously, because you're
Watch.
you're bringing like literally like the best teams from like the best leagues. You're not bringing
Yeah.
anybody from the championship.
If the championship were there, they would.
They wouldn't do anything, bro. They wouldn't.
So-
come on.
Even Mexican teams would beat Miami.
They haven't. Dude, come on.
Okay, so how do you think Inter Miami would do in the championship?
They would be mid-table,
They'd
maybe.
get promoted.
They wouldn't get promoted.
Nah, I say they're fighting for promotion. They're fighting for
not
top
really.
4.
They're getting promoted.
They're fighting for top 4 in my opinion. No.
Dude, Jamie Vardy was just balling out in the championship.
He's balling out in the
Bro,
Premier
Suarez
League, too.
can't even
What's
play
their
like a
argument?
full 90 minutes, man.
Would.
No,
Can't play full 90 minutes.
Suarez can't even rock an.
He would.
No,
Bro,
with the
who's he
physicality
facing
and-
at in City?
with the physicality
Yeah, like,
in the championship, Suarez is gonna be out in the first 20 minutes.
His knees are gonna buckle after 20 minutes. He's gonna sub him
But
off.
that's more just like a mentality thing.
No, it's not. It's different.
The
It's
MLS
difference of quality.
do not play the same style of football as the championship would, and they cannot. They would
they
not
do.
be able to.
No, they
They
don't.
both- they both
Do you
play
know how
kick and
rough
run.
and freaking?
They all play kick and
You're
run.
telling me an XI of Busquets, Jordi Alba, Suarez, and Messi can run 90 minutes in a championship matchup?
They don't have to. They're using their brain.
Okay.
They're gonna. You said, bro, if someone can use their brain and work half as hard.
One thing is using their brain. One thing is being 39 years old and can't even run with 2 broken knees.
Well, that's a different conversation. But I still think they would compete in the championship.
Would they win it though?
Probably.
No,
Realistically speaking.
man.
If you gave them like
Relax.
one season. But nonetheless, Inter Miami, they would compete in the championship, probably fight for promotion. Obviously, like I think the biggest difficulty they would have is the fact that the majority of their team is a little bit older, right? But I think like from a talent level, they can compete.
Okay. Bar Miami, because of sure, if you guys want to put them there, what other team is doing really well in MLS that puts MLS in the 9th position of the top 10 leagues in the world?
I would say both LA teams.
Both LA teams, yeah.
Both LA teams are cooking.
Would I think do quite well.
LAFC plus the Galaxy.
What leagues were not in the top 10? Did not make top 10.
Me personally, like I haven't
Was-
seen the full
was
list.
Saudi League.
Here.
Was Eredivisie not top 10?
Eredivisie,
So
Turkish League.
that is crazy.
What?
The Danish League.
Oh my
Danish Super League.
gosh.
Some good teams in the Super League, like Copenhagen, like for sure.
Nordjylland.
Bro, these are teams that are competing in the Champions League too, bro. You can't forget about that.
What?
These teams in like the Danish.
That's what I'm saying. And Miami and MLS are top 10, and these leagues are not top 10.
Yeah. Are they basing it like off of talent level or just like
I'd assume you base
infrastructure
it
of
off.
the league as a whole? Like it's
That's the thing too. Like maybe is it revenue wise? Is it this
Well,
that?
if it's
Like,
revenue, then they're definitely top 10.
but is this? But in my opinion, it would be slowly of like quality of teams. Like MLS, is what maybe 1, 2, 3 teams, but then you have leagues that are like more than 3 teams that are actually good in the league.
So how many of that in the championship?
Ooh, though.
If I'm not even championship, Eredivisie as well, Turkish league.
Nah.
quality teams there.
League have,
I'm pretty shocked
two
those
or
aren't
three
top 10.
teams.
Who's 6, 7, 8, 9?
Brazilian League is up there.
Brazilian League's up there. We got Brazilian League in so
6.
first is Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, Brazil, French League, top 5. Brasileirão is 6. Portuguese, Belgium, MLS, Championship.
I mean, I don't hate that list.
Not mad with it.
I think like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are probably like all interchangeable. Like
Yeah.
they're all about the same level.
I think the Saudi Pro League needs more love.
Maybe it's up there too. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the full list or if they're kind of
I think the
involved.
way they're ranking is just by power rankings of the teams too. So just the way the weight is on the power rankings, how they're structured. I guess maybe Messi and Miami are
Just pulling the
pulling
whole
the
MLS.
Like it's
100%. 100% that's what's happening.
I swear Saudi's not even top 20.
And I don't find that just either because there's so many teams that have so many great players.
But isn't it more so like the main like top 3 teams and then like the rest of the teams are kind of
But they still have great players. Those other teams.
Not all of them.
Aubameyang's on one of those teams that orders for Roberto Firmino on.
Is it Firmino with Neymar?
no.
He's in the other
He's
team.
on the
exactly.
green- the
no,
green
he's on the
team.
green team. Saints.
Firmino's on Al Ali.
Al Ali.
Who?
Firmino.
Firmino. And then they have what else on that team?
They have Al Ittihad with Benzema and Kante.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 teams
I mean,
that have good quality players.
yeah.
What about the rest of the league?
Yeah, but those 4. That's 5 more. That's 5 teams.
That's
What,
the thing, like these
name the
te-
top 5
these
leagues in
teams might
MLS.
be, like pulling here
Yeah,
with the
fair.
rest of the team might be pulling down here, where the MLS is kind of like a little bit of this, and then
No,
Miami.
it's legit Miami and everything else is just sagging.
I mean, MLS, you got the Red Bulls, FC Cincinnati. You got some
Name 2
quality.
players from each team.
You got Mukhtar.
Yeah.
Hanny.
I don't know. I think
Yes, guys.
yeah, the MLS is like
It's not top 10. It's a good league. It's
but
not top
hey,
10.
Hey,
It's
put
so
some
bullshit.
respect on MLS. We're here in North America.
I don't care.
This
I-
is
I-
our
I don't
league.
care. I don't care. I want stuff to be just, and
This
it's not
is our
just.
league.
It's not just. What position were they last year before Messi was there, or before Messi was here?
I don't know. Bro.
Influence.
I don't have these-
They're like
They were probably
last.
20th.
They're like
Yeah, but
last.
they're also a new club.
Okay,
They were born in like 2016.
Okay, but they were still there
2017.
for what, a couple years?
Yeah, and Pipita Higuain was keeping them afloat, but it was tough. It was
That
tough
was a top
times.
10 back then.
No, they weren't. It was tough
Matuidi-
times.
Matuidi
I
was
went. I went to a game. It was tough times.
But no, I think realistically speaking, like, okay, the MLS is up there. Should it be? Yes, no, maybe so. I think those leagues are all about the same level. Let's be honest. But the thing that really holds MLS back is salary cap, designated players,
That's another thing.
international roster spots. Like, I understand why it's there because you're trying to grow the sport in the country and you want to have homegrown players, like players that are American, Canadian, this and that. But like, if you want the league to be as competitive as possible, you need to kind of open that up a little bit, I think. And
You gotta create some kind of relegation system with it too.
well, no, I saw the guy, one of the like C-suite of MLS or something like that was talking about how if I guess like
They won't be able to.
the executives from the big leagues in Europe, they probably think that the MLS is doing things the right way by not having a promotion and relegation system. So he really believes in it. Like, he legitimately thinks that
The no relegation works.
the no relegation system is the best way to do it, and he is fully convinced that the executives of all the European leagues, if they could have their way, would have it with a non-relegation model.
Okay,
Oh,
wait, but
100%.
by,
At that
Same
point,
20
football's
teams,
dead.
where
But
By
that's, but that's
execu-
exactly what the Super League
At
was
that point,
supposed to be
football's
doing.
dead.
well, by executives, what does he mean? Like the other team owners?
No, like, I think, like, I guess, like, the executives of, like, the leagues themselves, right? Like, let's say, for example, like, the Premier League has, like, a board of directors, obviously, that kind of run the league.
Yeah.
If it was up to them, they would just have this, like, 20 teams, and there wouldn't be a promotion, relegation, and none of that.
Well, of course, financially, you lose so much money when you get relegated.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to get
Because
relegated?
the reason why he said it was because he thinks it hinders investment. Because if you're like an investor investing in a team in the MLS and you have the risk of being demoted to
End of the day,
NASL or whatever the secondary USL or whatever
It's
the
just-
secondary league is, you're not going to go and outlay hundreds of millions of dollars to build a stadium, to do this, to do that,
because
to
they
pay
don't know
players.
they don't know what it
Right.
means to be a football nation and what it
yeah.
means to be
And
a
guess-
football country, because
Yeah.
that's how talent is created, that's how fandom is created, and that's how just the sport has been done over the how many years now.
Yeah.
I don't care if you get relegated or not, but if you want to create a culture and create a sport and become a successful business owner, yeah, it comes with wins, but it also comes with how to properly manage your club. It's no one says it's easy.
yeah.
People, big teams have definitely been bankrupt. We saw Montpellier, Bordeaux just recently dropped, and that's where the team where Zidane came from. To think about that,
Yeah.
like while Zidane played in this team, that team is now gone. Like, yeah, it's a business end of the day, but these guys don't care about the sport. They just care about, oh, I'm not gonna invest in something that I know I'm gonna lose an opportunity in money. You see these freaking Glazers over here. All they care about is their football.
Yeah, yeah. I
At
think
the
like, obviously they have a different, like, they're looking at it from the lens of like a business perspective and people being profitable and investment into the sport in general. Because I do think that you're seeing it now that there is potential to really grow a team, right? You're seeing it with like Wrexham, with Ryan Reynolds' team. I know there's a few other celebrities and things like that now that own teams as well. Like, I know we were talking about Como as well, right? Who really just kind of came out of nowhere, right?
You know what I mean?
Obviously,
Like, those
majority
guys-
owned by ex-footballers, and they invested into a team, you know, in a country where, let's be honest, like soccer or football is not doing well in Italy. Like, if you're going to Serie C, Serie B teams, even Serie A teams, like, you're not filling up stadiums. It's really not doing well for the most part. So they're taking a risk, buying a team from Serie B, you know, investing in, you know, the marketing, investing in coaches, investing in players, getting them promoted, and now you have to invest in a stadium and things like that.
But
But they could very well go down.
But they're smart
Yeah.
because they know how to use their assets around the sport
Yeah.
to build this team. They know it's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
They know they can get a lot of visitors. They can create some kind of like destination hub around it.
Yeah.
And why not watch football
Yeah.
and be at a team and enjoy a team that, you know, has a good culture, has great food, has great, you know, hospitality, has a great, you know, stadium around it, compared to even the Ryan Reynolds and Wrexham. Like, they have a great documentary coming out. They have a great camaraderie. The relationship they have with the actual team themselves is like, these owners care about this team. Half these American owners, they just put a paycheck down and they hope they make money out of it. They don't care to grow the nation and or the club around it
Yeah.
in any way. Just slap it here. If it's a good city, we'll slap it there. Oh, the city is a little bit run down. I'm not gonna do it there.
Football is, investment. It's commercial. You want to choose the best possible option to make money. You got to turn a profit. And that's life.
But isn't that one thing that the MLS is missing? Is that culture on the team? Like, name me one team, and I don't even think Inter Miami have this, because I think a lot of the reason the stadium is packed is because of Messi alone. I can maybe give you a team or two, but give me a team that, you know what, those fans are going to be out there week in, week out, no matter the position on the table.
Don't Atlanta fill their stadiums pretty well?
Atlanta have a great culture around it. LAFC, I think, have a better one than LA Galaxy. They really, brought the Latin fan base into it. Like, even some of these other teams, like, dude, like Chicago, like when Thing was there, Shaqiri, like, city's a dead city sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clubs are like not the greatest city, but you know, if you build some culture around them, I'm sure the people will come out and watch.
I would say it's usually the smaller markets, like Seattle and Portland have great fan bases.
I heard Charlotte have good fan base.
Yeah,
Charlotte.
I even
Cincinnati.
St. Louis too. I think
it's
they're
the smaller nations when you don't have much else going on in the city.
Yeah,
They'll probably come out to support. I mean, if you're in New York, Chicago, it's hard. Like, you got the Bulls, you got the Knicks. Like, it's hard to kind of
compete.
Yeah, especially if you're not that good. It's difficult.
It's because like all the sports are happening at the same time. Like if it's 7 o'clock on a Saturday and you have like
not even the MLS, man. It runs throughout the summer. Basketball's done. NFL's done. Hockey's done.
It's baseball.
Yeah,
baseball's big. Like in a lot of those like major cities. Like,
but we know football can be bigger than baseball.
It's gonna take time, right? It's gonna take a lot of time.
Something else takes more
and convincing, and there's a lot, right? A lot of people are stuck in their ways too.
Maybe we need a $1 hot dog at the pitch.
I don't know. I feel like it's MLS getting kind of baby fed right now.
What do you mean?
Making top 9.
So
this is crazy to me.
Again, before we finish now, do you think once Messi leaves, who's that next player that will kind of keep this MLS train high?
I think Griezmann. Griezmann said he's going to MLS no matter what.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily know if there's going to be a player that can do it. Like
oh no, definitely not.
Messi,
not even that.
just
like Royce is there. I don't hear anything about Royce.
Dude,
has he been playing really like that?
He hasn't really been playing as much as Messi. Like he's been playing mostly as like a sub, and like he'll get the Bleacher Report coverage and things like that. Like you definitely see. I'd probably say you probably see more like mainstream media coverage of him at LA than he did when he was at Dortmund. Realistically speaking, like. You do get the coverage, but I think it's going to be tough to find a Messi replacement until maybe you're getting someone like a Mbappe or like a Haaland who's at that stage of his career where he's going to the MLS. I think until then you're going to have like, a lot of those players like a Griezmann, like maybe like a De Bruyne, like players of that ilk that are going to MLS, and like maybe you're just having like a more well-rounded playing field where like a lot of the bigger teams have like that kind of star or two. But you don't have like a powerhouse team like Inter Miami. But I think like the big cities are always going to attract the stars because they have the money to do it. They have the location.
And literally location.
Different lifestyle too. I think a lot of like the same way we look and like idolize Europe and want to go to Europe on vacation because the culture is different and everything. It's the same in Europe. They have like a fixation for the American culture.
But right? We always see those interviews when people ask big football heads, how do you see the MLS coming in the next couple of years? Where do you see the MLS in the next couple of years? They're all going to say, oh, they're doing a great job. I see it really becoming one of the top 5 leagues in the world. All I see it right now, and I don't see much change, is just going to be the league where players are going to go retire.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to, whatever, we're just going to finish off. There's no, there's just no structure to it.
Yeah.
The way we see it in Europe, right?
Yeah.
But
I think we're going to cut it off there. A lot of good chats about, geniuses and whatnot, but only geniuses watch this video. So if you're a genius, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You know who we are.
We the culture, baby.
Drop your comments, Barca or Bayern.
Dale.
And shout out our special audio listeners.
Yes, sir. Shout out
You
to
guys
you.
are the best.
Bring the boom, baby.
Boom. The culture, man.
Later.
Peace.